Hi,
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Edie. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, good, good. So let's start with a little bit of clearing, closing our eyes, and just
Mhm.
being ready to be in this space of pure love, acceptance, allowing ourselves to be open vessels of this flow of unconditional love that's all around us. Are you ready to get started? All right. So I'm Edie. This is Amy. And this is
Hello.
the Anam Podcast. So I had something come to me today that I thought I could share on this, and that was um, perception. And the way we see and view the world is a choice that we're making all the time. So essentially, we're essentially taught how to view the world, right? So we're taught to view the world through others as a child because as a child, we have a viewpoint, right? But our parents or those elders around us that are in our lives tell us, you know, listen to us, listen to, these, don't listen to yourself, listen to us, right? So then we start learning to not take our own understanding. We ask others for that understanding. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And when we do that, we give our power away. We essentially allow others' perceptions to be our perception. So, and do you understand what I mean by perception?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's how we view the world.
Mm.
Um, so we're taught from a very young age to not listen to our own perception. But in fact, what we've done is we disempowered ourselves and we made ourselves weaker by not listening to ourselves because we've came here as powerful beings that are here to not only listen to ourselves, but to honor and value what our view is, not necessarily
Mm.
what somebody else's view is. So that was just coming to me about how valuable it is to come back to that knowing space that's within you because truth feels good. And
Mm.
if it feels good for me, then that's my truth. And we're all living our own truths. And that's why also listening to somebody else's viewpoint. It's okay to listen, but feel that for yourself. Like, how does that
Mm.
feel for me? And if it doesn't feel right, then it's not true for you. Doesn't mean it's not true for them, because it probably is. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That was just something that got brought up for me today. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel because we're so disconnected from ourselves, we've lost the lack of trust. We've forgotten how it is to be like to trust that feeling that you're feeling, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like I've always grown up to ask other people for advice because in case I was wrong or if I was, not valuable enough to be heard, I had to have other person's approval for me to feel that certain way.
Mhm.
And no one now learning what I'm learning of just the teaching of if that feels right within your body. And it all comes back for me to do you love yourself enough to honor that feeling within
Mhm.
to share it? Or even if you knowing how you're feeling, maybe some days you don't feel like sharing, or you share too much or you're known as loud. So what? That's what feels good for you today to just share it.
Yeah.
And I feel like as well with our perception from our stories of the past, how we may go through the same experience as another person, but our perceiving of that story is going to be completely different, you know, and it's showing compassion for that person to and allow them to have that space, you know, to feel what they're feeling or
But and even finding compassion for yourself if you've interpreted it as something that's hard or something that's not good, find that compassion for yourself. I'm glad you brought that up because perception is what the reality you're living. So we all don't live the same reality. As you learn, as you grow, as you expand your awareness, which I believe that's why we're here, you realize that every single one of us has our own reality. And that's why it's not easy to agree sometimes because you may experience the same thing, but you both have different realities of what just happened. And both are true. Both are exactly what happened because it's your truth, right? It's your interpretation. The perception is so key to long-term happiness in your life. Perception, being aware of your perception, because you're choosing to look at something either in a negative way or a positive way. And there's really only those two choices. And in my experience, nothing ever happens in your life that isn't there to serve you somehow. Nothing ever happens to push you down or to beat you up or to make you hard or to make you stronger. Nothing happens like that. There's nothing that's an interpretation of what's happened. So when you change that perception to everything happens for me, and it's to show me my strength, it's to show me how I can grow, it's to show me how the next step, it's to show me, it's there to love you, to show you. I realized that everything around us is there loving us, not hurting us, not beating us up. It's love that's the energy, but it's your choice, it's perception.
Absolutely, because like I found myself falling into this, oh, I hate Christmas. It's such a stressful time, you know. And I went to overnight retreat last Friday, and I just fell back into that love and vibration, you know. Everything was so beautiful. So we went to the Wicklow markets afterwards, the Christmas markets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my days. I was like, I love Christmas so much. But the
Mm-hmm.
past 2 weeks I've been saying I hate Christmas, it's so stressful. And then I only realized I've been putting myself under this stress, this negative emotion, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
it was just by switching my words around as, oh, I have to buy all these presents. I get to buy all my loved ones presents, you know? And it's that feeling of what I've just said feels so, that feels like
Yeah,
truth, you know?
that is truth
Because,
because it feels good. Yeah.
mm, so it was like, I'm not choosing to be, you know, negative or unhappy anymore because I have the choice to be happy, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, the power, as you said, is within every single one of us.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because as you start learning about who you are and
Mm,
keeping yourself exposed and open to what's coming, you start realizing that all the hardships you went through was only because you thought they were hardships. In
mm,
fact, they were only there to serve you. It's a reflection of where you're at. It's a reflection of what you're constantly thinking about. So your thoughts are
mm,
so powerful and your thoughts are everything. How the mind is such valuable real estate. And that because what you think about is what you're attracting, what you think about is what's expanding, what you're thinking about is what you're seeing, and that it's increasing. So your mind and where your thoughts are so valuable. I remember thinking back when I started learning about how valuable the thoughts were. I remember thinking to myself, Are they asking me, because I've read a lot of stuff, and is this text saying to me that I have to know every thought in my head? And I was thinking, I'm fucked if that's the truth. Like, I have so many thoughts, I couldn't even think. That was so long ago. And now
Mm.
I can honestly say I'm aware of my thoughts a lot more. And not only that, is how they influence and how they make me feel. So I can consciously choose now the thoughts that make me feel better. And that is perception. It's making how I see things. There's a positive side to everything, and to choose to tweak how I see. And if I'm having a fit in the moment, have peace with myself and have compassion for myself to allow that as well.
Absolutely. I also feel like, who are we to say what's like good or bad,
Mm,
negative, positive? And it's just truly, because if we're living from a space where we're trusting and we're in alignment with our bodies,
mm,
that truth is what feels wonderful,
mm,
And I suppose that for us is positive. That's great. That's whatever. But also compassion, as you said, for when you are in that negative space. But there's nothing negative about it, It's just
yeah.
a little bit of light through that darkness, and
Mm,
accepting that it's a part of you,
yeah.
and combining the two and just allowing the light to be.
Yeah, I know, because there's even a space where if you feel like shit, say you're depressed, you're in depression,
Mm,
anger is a better feeling from depression because it's movement. So it's not
mm,
even judging that I have anger. It's there's movement there and that feels better. So
mm,
it's being aware. Your body is your guidance through this life, your guidance system in this life. And your thoughts and your feelings work with this source energy that's all around us, and it's a dance. It's this harmonic dance that we're playing all the time. It's like we're allowing the flow, we're not allowing the flow, we're allowing the flow. And that's how we're supposed to be,
mm,
allowing and not allowing, in and out of it. And that's this beautiful dance. And I love visualizing it in my head because I do see it as a dance with source. And source is everything around us. It's this, we're in a soup of source. You can't
mm,
not be in this soup. You're part of it. It's
mhm,
part of you. It's what you breathe. It's all, it's in the air. It's everything. So it's this beautiful dance that we're playing, and it's perfect. And it's allowing yourself to have grace for yourself, to know you can't get this wrong. And when I learned I can't get this wrong, it's always going to be right. It's only love that comes to me. And it's my interpretation that allows it to flow or not.
mm,
It was so empowering. And that's my truth.
mm. And it's dropping down from your head into your heart space. And
Mm,
I'm just really living with that at the moment, because my head can make up a situation, right? And
mm-hmm,
like everybody's head, yeah. But and it's made up this situation and none of it has even happened yet. But
mm,
yet I'm causing my body to be in distress, to be like, oh shit, like that. It's a horrible feeling. And then I'm like, but Amy, it hasn't even happened yet. So chill the fuck out, And then I realized that because of it feels, I'm not even used to, um, because things have went wrong, or everything's perfect, but because it went how I didn't expect it to be, yeah, that I considered that and viewed that as bad. So
yeah.
then, but I was like used to that happening, so I was expecting when things were actually going good, I didn't want to believe it because it always goes bad. And so it's retraining yourself, that
Mm,
you are worthy of all these wonderful things. That it's not because you've done this to deserve this. It's not. you deserve it anyway, you know?
Because you deserve. Yeah. You know, I'm a student of Abraham Hicks, and part of what she teaches is um, that you can't feel bad if source wasn't loving you so much, because it's because the thought that made you feel bad was so not how source sees you. Source is always loving you and always giving and always compassion and always bliss. You can't feel that negativity if source wasn't staying in that space always. And so that's why the body is such a guidance for us. It's allowing us, it's empowering us. Really what it's doing is empowering us to be in our space and to know that our space is sacred and it's important and it's God-given and it's perfect as it is, and all its flaws is exactly as it's supposed to be.
But that it's what brings you joy, you know?
Yeah.
And what brings you, what actions or stillness or whatever reflections of has you in alignment, you know? And like some days it could be sitting there reading the book, and some days it could be absolutely jumping up and down, you know what I mean? Like, and every day is different, but it's honoring what your body is asking for.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be able to do that, to be in the space of not, of allowing myself to feel the day, to go forward in that day as it feels right to do. Yeah, so I'm lucky that I can do that. And I think you can too, actually. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's not feeling the need to be doing something, or it's even if I used to feel extremely guilty when I was resting. Like if I decided to lay in the bed all day, I was like, oh fuck, or like this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. But I was just tired or whatever, that no, it feels okay to do that, you know? Or if I'd done so much work yesterday, I've earned a space to rest today. And like, and that's what we've been
You taught that.
taught exactly as a kid or whatever, a teenager. And we tend to always just, oh, because my mom or my dad said that, that must be true, you know, or
Yeah.
because the news or whatever said that, no, it must be true. We've
Instead
just
of
fallen
bringing it
into
back to yourself and feeling the truth, you know, that's really bring it back to yourself. Feel if that's true. Just because somebody older than you said it doesn't mean it's true. The reality could be completely different. That took a while for me to get and to learn.
I think it's the fear of also not being liked, or you know, I cared so much what other people thought of me, like, um and then just when I started this journey, or started this, I was just like, there's so much more to life than actually caring what others think, you know what I mean?
No,
And
I'm
people are always
excited.
gonna have an opinion.
Yeah, but and you're never going to please everybody. That's the other side to this, is you're always going to have people that aren't happy with you. So what? You know, that's them. It's be happy with you. I had a thought and it just left.
That's okay.
That happened too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
It really is about coming to a space of honoring yourself, loving yourself enough that you put yourself in pole position. Like my alignment with source, then myself. That's what's most important in this world. Oh, I know what I was going to say. It's about when we're doing this, and I'm learning and growing and understanding this more and more every day. I'm excited about what that looks like for me, because what it's doing is when I honor myself and love myself and accept myself and stop the outside noise and just do more things that fill my soul, like this with you, having these conversations that are deep, that are personal, that are feeling for me, feels my soul. I love it. I feel fantastic. I'm learning now who I am through that. And we're all individual people. We didn't come here to be each other. We didn't come here to copy others. We came here to really understand ourselves, to learn ourselves, and to grow from there, to expand our thoughts from there, because it's our thoughts that's creating all of this. So expanding what you're thinking, expand, go beyond where your beliefs, go beyond your beliefs, really. And I'm excited about what that looks like for me and where that's heading, because the more I'm myself, the more comes out, the more uniqueness comes out. And that's what we're here for.
And I honor that in you, because you inspire other people by being truthful with yourself, you know? Like, and for me, my excitement at the moment is not figuring things out, but you know, when you get to the root cause of something, like, and you know, you keep getting triggered and you realize where it all stemmed from. Oh, I get such a kick out of figuring that out. And sometimes it feels heavy. It feels, oh shit, you have to re-sit with that pain, you know? But it's loving yourself and allowing yourself to re-sit in that pain so you can set yourself free after that. So for me, I'm just like,
how does resetting the pain make you free, though?
because I can let it go.
So by feeling it again, you let it go? What
By
about
feeling it, because if I previously experienced that emotion or that experience, I would just drink it away, or you know, just numb it somewhere else. So I never actually allowed myself to, why are you feeling this way, or this is how my body is feeling, and then it's okay to feel this emotion. So by it being triggered again and resurfacing, I'm able to sit with it and feel how it feels in my body, and not allow it to define me, or my work doesn't sit in that version of me, and to let it go, to release it.
to choose happy?
Yeah, exactly. And it's, we're in this mindset that this version of me is in. It's like not to be in victim mode anymore, you know? As you said earlier, life is happening for me and not to me. And when that penny genuinely drops, it's like, oh, life is fucking exciting, you know? Like, yeah, God has chose this, or I've chose this before I came here, and God's just helped me see the plan out. That, and everything is right. Everything is where I'm exactly where I need to be. And I'm these ideas, what's the word I'm looking for? These thoughts that are becoming downloaded, and it's trusting that intuition that, no, I'm okay to be home now. I'm okay to be here, you know. I'm okay, it's safe to be here. And sometimes you feel like you're getting thrown upside down and inside out, but it's perfect. Everything is okay.
I think I found a lot of peace too when I realized that I can't get this wrong. I can't get this wrong. There's nothing to get wrong. We're all taking this so serious, and it's nothing to take serious. We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy. We're here to push our beliefs. If you're stuck in a belief, you're stuck. And chances are you're unhappy because you're stuck there. Push that belief, like, see where else you can go with it. There is no untruth.
And again, and I feel like it's the fear of judgment from others that we're not allowing ourselves to be open, you know, because God, what happens if I am seen dancing naked in the forest? That's what makes me obvious, you know. That's why, you know, and because it's so unusual, it's seen as weird. So what, you know? And people are gonna have opinions on that, and
What?
that's fine. That's their journey. That's them, you know. And like, I think the hardest thing for me was not. It wasn't even hard, right? Well, at the time it was. That when your family, when you feel just automatically that your family should accept you. You should be,
Mm.
they should love you no matter what you do, whatever.
Mm.
And that's not the case, but that's totally fine. You get to laugh about it. Like, my 70-odd-year-old granny, right? She thinks, God only knows what she thinks I am. But because I think I'm open, now I'm open to just having a laugh with her, expressing myself, and she's just accepted it now. You know what I mean? She's
And
just like,
I think that's it. When you're unapologetically yourself, those
"Mm,
around you can't help but accept it. It's like, oh,
yeah,
well, that's just who that person is.
yeah."
That's good. That's
Not
okay.
under my roof, but it's fine enough.
Right? But you know why they do that? Do you know why? Because you've butted up against a belief that they have.
Mm,
You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. It's like they've just hit that belief. You've
yeah.
triggered that belief. So they're gonna respond in a way that makes you, or respond in a way that you should stop because you
Mhm.
their belief. But we're not here to make others happy or comfortable. And we're also not here to hurt others. So it's that balance of knowing yourself, being
Yeah.
yourself, but not stepping on the toes. But if it's
Mm,
just a belief because you don't do that,
yeah.
like,
Absolutely. And if you're coming from a place of love, like you're not out there
yes,
intentionally hurting
yes,
people, it's
yeah,
not gonna be,
yeah,
and how they take something is
not your responsibility.
absolutely, yeah. But it's to go back there to what you were saying there, like about hating a belief system, because change is scary, right?
Yeah,
I can hold my hand up and say, holy
yeah,
shit, I was
yeah,
bloody hell scared, because I wasn't used to it. I wasn't comfortable.
yeah,
And and I can see where people are coming when a belief system gets hit.
yeah,
But so much more magic when you just drop that barrier and surrender to the bloody unknown. And of
yeah.
course, that's so much easier said than done. But it's
But it's
loving
worth
yourself.
it. Isn't it worth it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. For your happy self. It's 100% worth
Mm,
it. Push those boundaries. I think this is a really good topic because everybody experiences this, how do I be myself, but I also want to not stick out like a weirdo or a sore thumb but then you got to ask yourself, do you want to be happy? Because if you want to be happy, happiness is knowing who you are. Happiness is
mm,
understanding who you are. And these are my truths. So I'm not speaking for you, but my happiness is understanding me more.
mm,
And my happiness has nothing to do with anybody else. And I don't need to cut people out of my life for me to be happy. I can be who I am because my happiness doesn't depend on anybody else changing. Nobody else has to do anything to make me happy. I find my happiness within myself, me and my big collar. So
That's why you're sidetracked. You're looking at your collar. Oh gosh. But like for that experience that you've just experienced there, right? That could have been you could have got completely in your head there and be like, oh God, look at my collar, You just bloody had fun with it. Fly away. This could be your form of flying.
I know. I am gonna fly someday.
I know.
I feel like I know, Edie.
My head hasn't wrapped itself around it yet, but
All right, let's wrap this up and we'll do part two because I think it's a good conversation. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
See you on the flip side.
Okay.